The morning sun had just begun to rise over the bustling city, painting golden hues across the skyline. Daniel Harper, a single father in his mid-30s, hurried through the crowded streets with his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, clutching his hand. Her small backpack bounced as she skipped beside him, full of innocent energy. "Daddy, are we late again?" Lily asked, glancing up at him with her bright brown eyes. "Not if we walk fast," Daniel replied with a smile that didn't quite reach his tired eyes. He worked as a logistics coordinator at a large corporation called Harper & West Distribution, a job that barely paid enough to keep up with rent and Lily's school fees. After dropping Lily off at school, Daniel grabbed a quick coffee and rushed to work. He couldn't afford to be late again. The company's supervisor, Mr. Huxley, was the kind of man who treated employees like numbers, efficient, replaceable, and disposable. As Daniel turned the corner, he saw something unusual on the sidewalk. A woman, visibly pregnant and struggling with heavy grocery bags, stumbled and nearly fell. People walked past her, eyes glued to their phones, too busy to notice. Without hesitation, Daniel ran forward. "Are you all right, ma'am?" he asked, steadying her. "Oh, thank you," she panted, clutching her stomach. I just need a moment to sit." Daniel helped her onto a nearby bench. Her face was pale, and he could see the strain in her features. "You shouldn't be carrying all this," he said gently. "Let me call someone or get you a cab." "I was trying to make it to the next street," she said, embarrassed. "My car broke down, and I thought I could walk the rest of the way." Daniel didn't think twice. He took the bags from her and hailed a taxi. "Here," he said, opening the door. "I'll make sure you get there safely." "But, won't you be late for something?" she asked, noticing his anxious glances at his watch. "It's fine," he lied. "You need help more than I need to be on time." After ensuring she was safe and settled, Daniel jogged the last few blocks to the office, sweating and breathless. When he arrived, Mr. Huxley was standing by the door, arms crossed, expression icy. "Harper, late again, sir. I can explain." "Don't bother. We've talked about punctuality before. You're an example of why this department underperforms." "Please, I was helping someone. She was pregnant and in trouble," Daniel protested. Mr. Huxley sneered. "You think your good deeds excuse irresponsibility? You're fired. Clear your desk." Daniel's heart sank. He stood frozen, disbelief washing over him. "Fired, sir? Please, I have a child." "Not my problem," Huxley interrupted. "Hand in your badge and leave the building." Daniel walked out, his world spinning. The security guard, who had seen him arrive every morning for the past 3 years, gave him a sympathetic look but said nothing. That night, Daniel sat at the small kitchen table of their apartment, staring at his bank account. Barely enough for next month's rent. Lily sat beside him, drawing with crayons. "Daddy," she said softly, "are you sad?" He forced a smile. "Just tired, sweetheart. Don't worry." But inside, Daniel was breaking. He'd worked so hard to rebuild after his wife's death 5 years earlier. Losing his job felt like losing everything all over again. The next morning, Daniel decided to go back to the company, not to beg, but to collect the last of his things. He arrived early, before most employees, and was surprised to find a sleek black car parked out front. A woman in a tailored gray suit stepped out, her presence commanding immediate attention. It was the pregnant woman from yesterday. Daniel blinked in confusion. "You," he said, stunned. She turned toward him with a warm smile. "Mr. Harper, right, you helped me yesterday." "Yes, but what are you doing here?" Before she could answer, Mr. Huxley appeared, all smiles and fake enthusiasm. "Ms. Winston, welcome back. We didn't expect you so soon." Ms. Winston. The name clicked in Daniel's mind. Evelyn Winston, the rumored new CEO taking over after the merger. The woman he had helped was the owner of the company he had just been fired from. She turned to Huxley. "Good morning, Mr. Huxley. I'm here for an unannounced visit. I wanted to see how things were running." Her eyes flicked to Daniel. "And I see you've met Mr. Harper." Huxley laughed awkwardly. "Yes, one of our former employees. He was terminated yesterday for repeated tardiness." Evelyn's expression hardened. "Terminated? For what reason?" "He was late again," Huxley said quickly. "We have strict policies." Evelyn looked back at Daniel. "And why were you late, Mr. Harper?" "I was helping a woman who needed assistance," he said quietly. "You, actually." Huxley paled. "What?" Evelyn's voice grew sharp. You fired an employee for helping someone in need, me, the CEO of this company. The silence that followed was electric. Daniel looked down, not wanting to make it worse, but Evelyn wasn't finished. Mr. Harper, please wait in the conference room, she said. Mr. Huxley, in my office. Now. As Daniel walked away, he could hear Evelyn's voice echoing down the hallway, cold and controlled, but furious. An hour later, she called him in. Huxley was gone, his office empty. Mr. Harper, she said, standing by the window, I owe you an apology. And some gratitude. You showed kindness without expecting anything in return. That's the kind of person I want leading others in this company. Daniel blinked. Ma'am, I don't understand. I've reviewed your file. Your performance was excellent, your record spotless except for a few late arrivals, which I see now were due to family commitments. You're a single father. Yes, ma'am, my daughter, Lily. Evelyn smiled softly. I was raised by a single father too. I know how hard it is. She turned, extending her hand. I'd like to offer you your job back, at a higher position. You'll be our new operations manager. Effective immediately. Daniel's breath caught. Are you serious? Absolutely. We need people with empathy and integrity. And as for Mr. Huxley, he won't be returning. Tears welled in Daniel's eyes, but he quickly blinked them away. Thank you. You have no idea what this means. Evelyn smiled. Actually, I think I do. That evening, Daniel came home to find Lily waiting by the window. Daddy, you're smiling. Did something good happen? He scooped her up in his arms. Something amazing happened, sweetheart. Daddy got a new job, better than before. She giggled. Does that mean we can get pizza tonight? He laughed. Yes, and maybe ice cream too. Over the next few weeks, Daniel settled into his new role. The employees admired his humility and fairness. Evelyn often visited his department, not as an intimidating boss, but as a supportive leader. One afternoon, as they walked through the office together, Evelyn said, You know, Mr. Harper, your story reminded me why I started this company. Success isn't about numbers, it's about people. Daniel nodded. I used to think being strong meant doing everything alone. But I'm learning that kindness can be strength too. She smiled. Exactly. You changed my perspective, Daniel. In a way, you reminded me of something my late father used to say, never fire a good man for being human. Months later, the company hosted a charity gala to raise funds for single parents. Evelyn gave a heartfelt speech about compassion and resilience, publicly acknowledging Daniel's story. As her inspiration, when the applause faded, she turned to him with a grateful look. You didn't just help me that day, Daniel. You helped this whole company rediscover its heart. Daniel smiled, humbled. All I did was stop to help someone in need. And that, Evelyn replied softly, made all the difference. Moral of the story, kindness is never wasted. In a world that often rewards ambition over compassion, it's easy to forget that small acts of goodness can ripple far beyond what we imagine. Daniel's choice to help a stranger cost him his job for one day, but earned him respect, success, and a reminder that doing the right thing is always worth it.